Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to check the GitUp G3 Duo action camera. What's so unique about this camera? First of all, it features a main camera plus an optional slave camera. I'm emphasizing the optional because it can be a little bit confusing, so take into consideration that it's not included with this kit. In addition, it also supports a GPS logger, which is as well not included in the kit. And this is a 4K camera which supports 4K at 24 frames per second, 2K at 30 frames per second, and 60 frames per second Full HD 1080p. Inside this box we're getting the camera, which comes already on its waterproof case. It's waterproof up to 30 meters. And in addition, we get in this box with all the accessories, which are a USB to mini USB cable, the traditional mounting adapters, including a handlebar adapter and other useful adapters, which are of course compatible with other GoPro accessories, for example, the instructions manual, some stickers, and a lens protector. The build quality of the waterproof case is very good, and you can see that it is well protected. And in order to remove the camera from its case, you will have to first press this button and then pull this one, so it's very secured inside to prevent water from coming in. The camera itself is in the traditional GoPro 3, 4, 5 form factor, so you can use it with any GoPro accessories that you have. For example, I just tried this one and it fits perfectly. On the front of the camera we can find the power and the mode button, two LED indicators. On the bottom you can find the battery, which is a 1200 mAh Lion battery. It should last you for about an hour or so of continuous usage. On the top we have the shutter button, and on the back a 2-inch touch screen. Finally, on the left side we have the micro SD slot, which supports up to 128 gigabytes of micro SD card, a mini USB port that enables you to connect the GPS and the slave camera. They can't be used together in case you are wondering, a mini HDMI port, and finally this mini USB connector, which will allow you to connect it to your computer and extract the data from the micro SD card. In case you want to put this camera on a tripod, it is possible, and it has this tripod connector over here. The weight of the camera is 85.6 grams. And its dimensions are 22.2 by 38.6 by 56.3 millimeters. The length, including the lens, is 32.1 millimeters. Turning on the camera can be done in two ways. First of all, you can press the power button, then it's going to power up. In order to turn it off, you need to long press this button. And you have another option to turn it on, which is to press the shutter button. And the difference is now, the moment the camera loads, it's going to start recording on the last settings that were used. So you can see right now the camera is recording. When I'm going to stop the recording process by pressing the shutter button, you can see that the camera is going to turn off itself. While the camera is recording, you can see this red indicator is blinking. And when it stops recording, you can see that now it is constantly on. Let's go through the configuration of the camera. On the top right, you can see the battery status, and on the left side, you can see that right now it's on video mode. Changing the mode is done by pressing the mode button. Now it's on camera mode. This mode allows you to play the videos that you took, and you can also delete them. You can switch, of course, between all the videos as well, and pressing the mode again will take you back to the video mode screen. You have another option of changing the mode, which is done by pressing this button. Then you can switch between the video, photo, and playback. You have also this option screen that you can change the resolution. You can change between 4K, 16:9, 4:3, all the other options, and it goes all the way down to VGA 240 frames per second. The selected option will be the one which is right now highlighted, so when you go back, it is going to be saved. You have an option to loop the videos, so it's going to create a new file every 2 minutes, 3, 5, or 10 minutes. I'm going to leave it off. You have a time-lapse option, so it's going to take one frame every 200 milliseconds or one frame up to 10 minutes, so it's good for creating time-lapse videos. I'm going to leave it off as well. Interval, so it's going to take a picture every 5 to 60 seconds, if this mode is going to be selected, of course. WDR, I'm going to leave it on. is wide dynamic range, so it's going to improve hopefully the quality of the video. You have zoom options. You can go between 1 to 2.8. Of course, this is digital zoom, so I don't see any use for it. I'm just going to leave it on 1. In addition, you can turn on and off the gyro. You can set the sharpness of the image, select the white balance. You can also select a custom white balance set. If you're taking videos at night, you can turn the low light on and off. I'm going to include footage of day and night. On my day it's going to be off, and on my night video it's going to be on. So for now it's going to be off. You can set the exposure, metering system. You can set the color. You have different schemes: vivid, sepia, black and white, and normal, which is the one I'm going to use. You can set the contrast, bitrate. You can set the microphone volume between low, medium, and high. Motion detection, which is good if you're going to use it for a security camera or a dashboard camera. And finally, we have the G sensor. I'm going to set it on medium. Stamp, which is going to stamp the date and time on the video or the image. I don't like this feature. Basically, it's pretty good for if you're using this camera as a dashboard camera. It's not useful for me. And GPS stamp. If the GPS module is going to be connected, it's going to stamp. I'm not sure if on the file or on the video, probably on the file, all the information such as speed, coordinates, and you can set all the info. I don't have the GPS module, so I'm going to leave it off. So when you're done, just slide your finger from the top, and then you're going to get back to the video mode. You have another options menu, which is selected by pressing this cog wheel, and then you can set the quick record on and off, which is used by just turning on the camera while pressing the shutter button. So right now it's on. That's why it worked, because it's on default. You can set the GPS on and off. Speed units, you can change between miles per hour and kilometers per hour. You can set the rotation, so it's going to be on front. You can see now the camera has been rotated, so I'm going to set it back to off, and then it's going to be rotated back. And if you can also rotate the slave module. External power, you can set it to charge, power on recording, which means when it's going to be charged externally, you can set that it's going to be recording automatically, or power on the camera, or charge it. LED indicators, you can control the LED indicators. Right now they are on. You can set the OSD, now it's on. You can set the beeping between off and on. You can lock the camera after a certain amount of time. You can set it between 5 minutes and 15 seconds or off. TV mode, you can change between NTSC and PAL. You can set the frequency between 50 Hz and 60 Hz. You can change the language between English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Deutsch, Italiano, Chinese or Mandarin or Cantonese, Russian, I think Japanese, Czech, Polish, and Dutch. The applicable one for me is English. You can set the time zone, date format. You can format the SD card. Pressing OK will delete everything. And you can reset the camera to default settings in case you change something you're not sure what you change. So you can reset it to the default settings. And you can finally see the version of the camera and the build number. By the way, the touchscreen is pretty responsive, but it did have some glitches and I found myself pressing a button and it wasn't selected right, but still in general it works pretty well. Now, in case you want to use this camera as a dashboard camera, you have this option which I think I didn't explain correctly, which is this G sensor. If it's going to set to high, medium or low, it means that whenever this camera is going to start moving, it's going to start recording. So for example, if I set it to medium, then I shake the camera, you can see that now the camera is recording because of the movement. So you can set the sensitivity by adjusting the G sensor. And in case you're using it as a regular action camera, just turn it off. And now it's not going to start recording if it's going to shake or move. The last settings screen that we have is the quick settings screen, which is accessible by sliding your finger from the top. Then you can turn on and off the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth. You can lock the camera to save battery. You can lock the exposure level, and you can turn on and off the stabilizer that will help you stabilize your video. The last button is the auto off button, so when you press it, the camera is going to turn off itself. The configuration of the camera can be done either by the camera itself, or you can download an app from the App Store or from the Google Play, which is going to allow you to watch the footage that you are currently recording, and in addition configure all these settings in the app as well. The app is very easy to use, and I'm going to put a link in the description box to the Apple and Android versions. You can use some touch display gestures in order to change the view. For example, if you swipe to the left, it's going to change the capture mode between video and taking pictures. If you swipe to the right, in case there is a slave camera which is connected, it's going to change the display to the one on the slave camera and back to the main device. Swiping down will open this quick screen as I showed you before, and swiping up will get you back to the main screen from wherever you are. If you tap the screen, it's going to turn on and off the settings, so if you just want to watch the video that you are recording without any overlay, just touch the display, and if you want to display it again, touch it again and it's going to be shown. So of course the real test of this camera is to see how it performs outside. So next thing I'm going to do is to take it outside and test it in different lighting conditions, and I'm going to take some footage on 1080p and 4K as well. I hope you enjoyed the rest of this video and see you on my next videos. Goodbye.